Coming back? Coming back? I think we're alright. Looks okay. Bit of packets. Welcome back. We didn't miss much in the bit of packets there. I asked about Carlotta, and he knew nothing. What's packets is precious? What's packets say?
Since that was who I'd learned about that from in the first place, I didn't feel I had much to gain by going over old ground.
Alright, cool. So, we can ask him about stuff in our inventory, if we had any masks. Alright, I suppose we can say goodbye for
Well,
time
safe
being.
voyage, if that's possible.
I like a bit of a philosophical discussion early in the game, where we have to deal with, the problem of Hal Tollefson. But I think we've all agreed to ignore that problem. Right. Well, let's go this way. Oh, what is going on with the cutting on these angles? It's a bit Resi Evil, isn't it? Hello. Yes, you're adorable. I feel like I'm playing Resident Evil. It's just like, let's just do a dramatic angle of the same place. We've got crates and we've got a specific crate. And we've got a sailor. Hello, sailor.
I couldn't tell what the crates contained, and frankly, I didn't much care. Outgoing cargo wasn't going to tell me much. I needed to know whether Mundy had brought something with him. A crate. What more could I say? The crates on the wharf were built on a large frame, sturdy and thick.
Oi! Get away from that!
A lot like the sailor.
Okay, guess we're talking to the sailor.
Something told me I wasn't going to learn anything useful from the sailor.
Oh, okay. Not talk to the sailor.
The sailor was busy loading the ship, and I decided not to disturb him.
Okay, less dialogue to worry about. Okay. Orko used my thigh to boost up. That's why I had that little weird vibrato in my voice. Okay. Now we go out here, we go back to the map, but we should have a new location. Cafe Ankh, all the way over there. At least we don't have to watch him running around the city like we did with Rincewind. Orko caused a weird vibrato. Orko, for God's sake, fuck off somewhere. Oh, right, okay. Let's, since Orko's sticking about. Feel like you've always been missing a pun in Ankh Morpork. Yeah, it's always a bit of an odd one. That'll be back to map. That'll be there. That'll be there. Nothing else to look at. Well, let's go straight. Just a liminal space, huh? You're being as foolish as me, Kathy.
You can't recall if the whiskey knocked you flat, or if everything was a blur when you met her. All that you remember are the tunes of a vampire, a melancholy tune about impending doom. I'll fetch your tankard, fill it to the brim.
Listening to a very nice song.
A cask of stale,
You're being a pest.
broken drum ale. Wondering how long till you meet again on the bank of the Aang. Too much to drink, you could barely even think. Too much bear hugger. I thought I told you never to play that song again. Sorry, Mr. Luton. It's just I wasn't expecting you to call by tonight, and... You weren't expecting me? It's only been 8 years, Samael. I guess my memory ain't what it used to be. I don't know why Samael put up with my temper. He could have broken every bone in my body if he'd wanted to. But that's what made him special, I guess. That he'd take almost any kind of abuse from the clientele, and he'd still be there at the piano, playing better than anyone else in Ankh-Morpork.
Well, there we go. We got a bit of a tune. Orca's being very helpful. Right, what's happening in here? We got the pianist. No picking up that bucket. Oh, Nobby's here. Captain Jenkins is here. Now, we're meant to be talking to Captain Jenkins to get permission to get on the ship. I have a feeling that might turn into a fetch quest. So, Captain Nobby.
Hello, Nobby.
Hello, Luton. How you been keeping?
I've been worse. Of course, I've been better, too. And I've been a hell of a lot better and not much worse.
That's good, isn't it?
Don't worry. If Commander Vimes sees us together, I'll tell him I made you talk to me.
It's not that I don't like you, Luton. I mean, we was friends and all. But it's just... well...
It's just he'd bite your head off if he saw you talking to me.
He'd go spare.
A fetch quest in my point-and-click adventure.
How you been keeping, Nobby? How's the rest of the watch?
Not so bad, Luton. Been keeping myself busy. Been working with Sergeant Colon.
How is old Fatty Colon?
Still fat. I'll tell him I saw you.
No, you won't.
Okay, so maybe I won't. I was just being trite.
Polite.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, let's talk about the old days.
I guess I never really understood why it was that you didn't get kicked out as well, Nobby.
Me? I ain't never done nothing wrong.
Don't give me that, Nobby. When you were serving as quartermaster under the Duke of Pseudopolis, it was widely known that several items from the stores were found in your kit.
That was all above board. I had all the paperwork for him.
Your kit at the time consisted of 2 warehouses. I just think Vimes had a grudge against me.
Luton, I know you're my friend and all, but you took a bribe.
Are you trying to tell me you never took a bribe?
Never.
The ham from Harga's House of Ribs?
Evidence.
The pocket clock from the Suicide in the Shades?
I wanted something to remember him by.
The money in the petty cash box?
Mislaid by someone.
Misappropriated by you.
I never misanthropated anything.
I just want to understand why it was that you could get away with all your petty theft, and I couldn't get away with one act of weakness.
Well, you see,
Just say it, Nobby. I'm not gonna hold it against you.
Well, I reckon Mr. Vimes thinks that a bit of
Hello,
petty
Dick,
theft ain't something to
Welcome
get
in.
excited about. I ain't admitting anything, mark you. Nothing's ever been proved. Got compared to some of the stuff that goes on in this city. But someone who's taken a bribe, well, that's like allowing the rich to avoid justice.
That wasn't why I did it.
I know. But you know Vimes.
Yeah, I know Vimes all right.
Oh, we're going to talk more about him now. Oh, we're getting the backstory. I like a bit of backstory. Gotta get the right mouse. And hello, welcome in, Dave. If you want to look, you can look. It's cool.
What's Vimes up to these days?
He got married.
Married? He was only ever married to his job.
Nah, straight up. He married into nobility.
Old Stoneface in the nobility. That'd drive him crazy.
Well, he's sort of nobility himself now.
What?
They made him commander of the watch. And we got a great new premises down on Pseudopolis Yard. They're full of paintings and vases and all sorts.
Full?
Well, maybe not as full as when we moved in, but pretty full.
I'll have to call round sometime.
Yeah, that'd be good. We got a lot more members in the watch these days. And we got a new dartboard.
Life in the fast lane, huh? Do you seriously think it's a good idea for me to call around? I mean, Vimes isn't gonna like it.
Whatever you may think about him, he's loyal to his job. I can't say he'll welcome you with open arms, but he won't stop you.
Right, nude arts is something different, I think, Kira. Think Nobby's going to know anything about our casebook? What do you know about the Milker?
Have you heard of the Milka? It arrived in town a short time ago.
How long ago?
3 days.
That's strange.
Why?
Well, there's been a string of odd murders in the last 3 days.
What do you mean, odd? I mean, this is Ankh-Morpork we're talking about.
I'm not sure I should discuss the details with a pavilion.
A civilian, Nobby. How much have you had to drink?
I'm as sober as the day I was born.
That's a frightening thought.
Oh, Midas, huh? Oops. Mysterious murders. Things we learn from Nobby Knobs, eh? Right, let's go backwards. He's asking about Monday.
Do you know anything about a man named Mundy?
I'm not getting drawn into anything while I'm off duty. Wait till I'm back at the yard.
Oh, is that all we're getting out of him? Is that all we're going to get?
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I'm not getting drawn into anything while I'm off duty. Wait.
Do you know anything about some passengers that came into town by ship a few days ago?
That's not much to go on.
You're a corporal in the watch. You're supposed to have a keen, insightful mind.
They brought that regulation in after I joined.
Yeah, of course they did.
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
Can't this wait till I get back to the yard? I'm off duty.
That's a voodoo line for this game. Do you know Monday? I keep waiting for a Born on a Friday gag or something. Okay, fine. I think we've exhausted
I'll
Nobby.
catch you later, Nobby. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, don't get caught doing anything I wouldn't do. The pianist, Samael, was one of Cafe Ankh's greatest assets. Not only was he a first-rate musician, but there was something about him that made you think it'd be a bad idea to start any trouble.
What does he say about Nobby? We didn't check that, did we?
My old friend Nobby from the Watch. I hadn't spoken to him in ages. I decided not to disturb Samael while he was working.
Okay. Let's talk to the captain then. We still have to move. Oh, look at that meaningful walk. Oh,
The captain of the Milka, Captain Jenkins, didn't seem to be a very happy man. Are you Captain Jenkins?
That depends on who's asking.
Don't play games. I'm just after a few answers.
That song really put you in a bad mood, didn't it?
If you're trying to get me angry, it's working.
Stomp swoosh,
No
stomp
need to
swoosh.
get upset. You need to drink more and think less.
Oh,
If I
sounds great.
drank any more than I do now, I'd never think again.
That's the ticket.
Kira's taking inspiration.
So, you're the captain of the Milka.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Ordinarily, I'd be happy being a captain of a fine ship like the Milka. But after this last voyage, I'm thinking of taking up farming.
tough journey.
I don't want to talk about it.
But we're gonna make you talk about it.
What was so bad about the last voyage?
I told you I don't want to talk about it.
Sometimes it helps to talk about these things.
Talk
Why
about
would I want to talk about it?
All right, let's put that another way. I want to talk about it, and the sooner I finish talking to you, the sooner you can get back to drinking.
By that logic, my best bet would be to just ignore you and carry on drinking.
I was never much good at logic. I did home economics at school. I was hoping you'd let me have a look around on the Milka.
I was hoping that I was gonna make enough money to be able to buy myself a harem of exotic dancers called Chantel. But it looks like we're both gonna be disappointed.
All of them? Like, harem implies at least 3, if not more, women. All called Chantel? So is this going to be a repeat question thing? Does make it easier if everyone has the same name.
I understand you were carrying a man named Mundy on your ship.
What's it to you?
I was hoping to find him.
Owes you money, does he?
No, he's an old friend.
Him? You must think I'm as drunk as I look.
Aren't you?
Well, okay, so maybe I am. What did you want to know?
Where is he now?
I've no idea. We picked him up in Sort a couple of weeks ago and we brought him here. That's about all I want to know about him.
Did he say what he was coming to Ankh-Morpork for?
I think he said he was meeting someone.
Who?
I can barely remember my own name, let alone something I overheard through a doorway last week.
Yes, the name of the harem is Chantal. Like a band, yeah, it's like a band name.
The Milka looks like a good ship.
You know nothing about ships, do you? She looks like exactly what she is. A run-down tramp schooner with no future.
Any chance I could look around her anyway?
All I want to do is get the cargo loaded and get out of this god's-forsaken city. I don't need people snooping around on board.
Hi Jess, how you doing? We've got Discworld Noir running. We're trying to find someone called Mundy. Carlotta's asked us.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
There's no one I know.
What about mysterious
On
passengers?
your last voyage, there were 3 passengers, right? Mundy and 2 others.
You tell me. You seem to know more about my ship than I do.
I just want to know what you can remember about them.
I remember that we picked them up in Ecclepon, and I know they had a lot of cargo. Oh, and one was a woman, and one was a man, I think.
You think he was a man?
There was something particularly foreign about him. I'm not sure what.
Where's Ecclepon?
Up near the hub. God's forsaken place. All there is to do there is drink and eat fish sandwiches with no tops on.
Sounds like a long way from the Circle C.
We got lost, all right. It's easy to mix up port and starboard when you've drunk too much port.
That's quite a good
Are they
gag.
still on board?
Nope. We dropped them in Ankh-Morpork. And before you ask, I have no idea what they were doing here. That's not my business.
I was beginning to realize that Captain Jenkins only had 2 questions to ask his passengers. Where are you going? And how much money have you got?
Being here since start covered in plaster. Oof. What about?
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
I wouldn't know anything about that.
No, okay, fine. Do you know anything about the
Do
mysterious
you know
murders?
anything about the recent murders in Ankh-Morpork?
I know that there are always murders in Ankh-Morpork.
he's
See
not wrong.
Ankh-Morpork and die, they say. Often in the same day.
That's not a very helpful answer.
It wasn't a very sensible question.
All right. Double check boarding milk
Is
again.
there any way I can persuade you to let me on your ship?
Is there any way I can persuade you to go away?
I'll see you around, Captain.
Right, there we go. So what you've been plastering, or who for that matter? Been making full body casts of people again. for strange reasons. Right, what have we got? We've got a bar. That's it.
My old friend, the bar. I was tempted to order a drink, but I was working. I suppressed the urge to get myself a drink, although I could really have used one.
Oh, why won't you allow me to get drunk? Okay, so, not much to sweep around in. Filling in a big hole in the dining room. Is the angle of these exits slightly different? Okay. You're going
Hello
weird.
again.
Hello yourself.
I'll see you around, Captain.
Filling in a big hole in the dining room. Ray likes doing that. Yay. Alright, so, well, we got a new location on the map, I guess. Oh, we didn't look in this side thing. Hello? I'll be...
The golem was loading wine barrels onto the cart, calmly and diligently. I would have pitied it, but there didn't seem much point. It was just magically animated clay.
Okay, but there's a crowbar.
I figured the golem wouldn't notice that the crowbar had gone missing.
Yes!
Not that I'm saying it didn't need it, just that I'd figured I'd get away with stealing it.
Oh, there's a dramatic thing to say that we picked up an item. Oof. I like that. We finally got some inventory, though.
The cart was being loaded with barrels of wine. Apart from the wine, I can't say I was interested. I guess I never really noticed that the Cafe Ankh had a wine cellar before. Perhaps if they'd run out of drinks at the bar, I'd have been more inclined to investigate.
Right, is this just back in the bar? It's back in the bar. Oh, yeah, I know, but Thieves Guild work, right? Nicking crowbars without a license. Am I allowed to go down the trapdoor? Well, oh, he stops.
There was no use trying to talk to the golem. It couldn't speak.
Fine. Didn't leave a receipt or anything, I know. Unlicensed thievery. It's terrible. Terrible behaviour. Right. Was there someone new on the map? The wharf. Ah, Studiopolis Yard. Oh yeah, we could... Is that the only place on the map at the moment that stands out? Minor disaster in Castle Key. That's you actually telling us about some news. Oh, I see. I see someone's gone here. Use crate.
I didn't much like being jammed into a crate and loaded onto the ship, but I could think of worse fates.
Okay.
Like being jammed into a crate full of rats and loaded onto the ship. What's your name then, little fellow?
Bit of his Terry Wogan voice there.
The hold was dark and dank, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone.
Away.
The hold was full of crates for the outgoing voyage. They were of little interest to me. I pulled the label out of the wreckage. It had writing on it that I couldn't understand.
Clue.
It was just flotsam.
Not jetsam.
The crates were too heavy.
So there's flotsam, there was a label that we can't read, but there's an exit there. Or have more water than one normally desire on this side of the hold. Yes, I know. A lair?
It looked lived in. The question was, by what? There was nothing of value in the debris.
Right, literally, that's it. We found somewhere. Okay. Well, there was somewhere to go. Here's somewhere else. Where are we now? Ah, there we are. We're behind the dude. Okay, cool. Where can we go? Down. Ah.
A perfectly ordinary bunk bed. I searched a bunk and found a small scrap of cardboard. It could have been anything. There was a number on the back. Either a 6 or a 9.
Nice.
It was hard to say.
Wait. They don't combine.
I'd pulled the label out of the flotsam in the bilge water of the Milka.
Right, what else is happening here? Books? Another bunk?
A bunk bed, like any other.
Like any other.
I searched one of the bunks, but found nothing useful, and nothing I wanted to think too closely about.
Bunk beds, they seem like the coolest thing when you're kids. Oh, the bedpost.
There were some strange scratches on the bedpost, which looked as if they'd been caused by either a wild animal or a man with very bad dental hygiene. What they meant was anyone's guess. I wasn't about to tear the bedpost off the bed.
No, but are we allowed to, like... We've got a notebook. Can we take scrapings?
I couldn't see a connection to the bedpost.
Alright, fine.
What was I going to do? Wreck a perfectly good bed?
Fine. No ruining of perfectly good beds around here then. Alright.
I'd managed to remain hidden on the ship, but I knew my luck couldn't last forever, because I'd stopped being lucky around age 12. The first mate looked less than happy, but I don't think he saw who I was as I dived in elegantly on my Ankh. Fortunately, the crust of the Ankh was soft that night, and I escaped both injury and discovery, although I needed 2 baths just to feel dirty.
Well, there we go.
Nothing like a cup of imp-made coffee to make me jittery and paranoid.
Right. Nothing new. But we found some clues. You know what we should do? Well, we could still go back to the wharf. We'd go to Pseudopolis Yard, or we'd go Cafe Ankh.
I headed over to Pseudopolis Yard, but Nobby wasn't there yet.
Okay.
I decided to come back later.
No Nobby for us. But Nobby's not here. Nobby's not here, man. We're gonna disturb Sam. Look at that power
I
wall.
decided not to disturb Samael.
But what if we gave him a label?
I could talk to Samael later, when he wasn't so busy. I didn't want to show Captain Jenkins anything that might give away the fact that I'd been aboard his ship.
Okay, fine.
Hello again. I'll see you around, Captain.
Right, not sure what else is going on there. I mean, they look like magic words. Maybe we could put them in the golem's
Best to
head.
leave it alone.
No.
I decided...
Right, don't steal wine barrels. Fine. Oh, Nobby's here now. But we got a bit of a cutscene. Look at this. Someone paid some money for some good animators here. That was like cinematic. This is Final Fantasy VIII level graphics, that's what I'm saying.
You could say this about Nobby. Deep down, he was a good man. Well, deep down, he was probably a man. Good might be stretching it a bit. Hello again, Nobby.
Hello, Luton.
Did I disturb you?
No. What made you think that?
Well, there appears to be smoke coming from your ear.
Oh, that, well, I've been working hard, you see.
Working so hard that your ears have caught fire.
Yes.
Don't worry about it, Nobby. It's not like I'm going to report you.
I have been working, see?
Oh, sure. I never doubted it for a second.
Relocated to a bed flop.
How's work treating you then?
Not so bad, Luton. I've been busy, though. Rushed off my feet.
Yeah, I can tell.
Right.
Any word on these murders?
Nothing yet. But our top investigators are working on the case 24 hours a day.
Nobby?
Yeah?
Are you one of those crack investigators?
Yeah? Why?
Never mind. Just a thought.
Yeah, never mind, Nobby. Right, I know that left is backwards.
Do you know anything about a man named Mundy?
Never heard of him.
Right.
Have you learned anything about the Milka?
Yeah, not as such, no.
You go to great lengths to conceal how little work you do, don't you?
Hey.
Yes, you do, Nobby.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
Never heard of him.
Face today.
I don't suppose you've investigated the passengers on the Milka, have you?
Of course I have.
Sorry, but you're not the most, diligent of investigators.
I work as hard as any man of my rank.
You're the only man of your rank. There's 3 dwarfs, 2 troll, a woman and a zombie with the same rank as you, but you're the only human male. I know you're human because you carry a bit of paper to prove it, signed by the midwife. The maleness, I'll take that on trust.
Do you want me to help you or not?
What have you got?
Well, I interviewed one of the passengers.
What did you learn?
That's official watch business.
You didn't learn anything, did you?
Not as such, no.
Any chance I could interview this passenger?
I don't see why not.
She's down in the Cafe Ankh now. Well, that's something, I guess.
Back to the Cafe Ankh again, huh?
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions? I don't know.
Wow, Nobby, you're very helpful.
Catch you later, Nobby.
But not before we have a good poke around here. Oh, what? We can't even... Turn naked, you managed to spill your drink over your desk. Oh no. Oh, I can't even walk upstairs. Alright, well, Nobby...
The troll stepped out of the shadows like light was too intimidated to illuminate him. He seemed like the quiet sort, but you got the feeling that if you stepped out of line, you'd get your teeth kicked down your throat. For that matter, he could kick your throat down your chest and your chest through your legs. But I was hoping it wouldn't come to that, because none of my clothes would fit.
Fine, Therma.
Sorry, friend, I don't understand.
How do you know that name?
Therma.
How do you know that name?
You want me to find Therma? Is that it? Well, what is it? A person? A thing? Look, if we're going to carry out a conversation, it'd help for you to talk.
Find Therma.
Okay, find Therma. What's your name, friend? There was something about a troll that big that made you want to call him friend.
Malachite. Find Therma. You've got to find her.
I wasn't about to argue with a troll that could twist my head off and use it as a cocktail onion. Okay, friend, what can you tell me about her? Any suggestions of where I should start looking?
Used to sing at the Octarine Ballad. Find Therma. Got to find Therma.
How can I contact you?
Find Therma.
That was all he said. I guess he wasn't very bright. But then there's things under damp logs that are brighter than most trolls.
Well, there we go. There's a new mission for us. Find Therma. How do you know that name? Somebody's hungry. Somebody's hungry. Kira loves you, Orko. You know this? You know how I know this? Somebody's hungry. Is it me? Well, I mean, you might be hungry, Kathy. I'm a journalist, mate. It's my job to know folks' names. What are you doing, you ridiculous child? Yes. Yes. Well, guess what, Orko? Guess what? It is time, you're right. Hang on, let me just... Oh. See if we can find Snap! Movie again. Oh, we're doing another one. Yep. Hello, Snarf. Snarf has shown up for this one. Snarf didn't show up for the one earlier. Right, let's see. Yeah, that should do. This is the last of a box. Snarf might have slightly more. We finished one. So there's another tub. There's another tub to go. before we have to consider ordering more. I buy them in 2-packs, these tubs. They might sell them in single packs, but I buy them in 2 packs. Anyway, we have competition. There's also some squeaky bats occasionally. Maybe Kathy needs a pudding. Someone please get Kathy some pudding. I knew you were coming out to make the cake. Like, what if we could order you cake by Uber or delivery or whatever? And to that, it's probably Krispy Kreme or nothing. I could order myself delivery Krispy Kreme right now, but that's no good because I'm in Bristol. And Rick no longer has the ability to enter our country to deliver cake. Yes, don't want any of your filthy cakes, do we? Good lord, ridiculous island we live in. Rick can't even bring us cake. Well, Orca's finished. As I Snarf, I think, might have had a few more. I tried to do a 50-50 split as best I could. Orca is literally perched on top. So, the bit of the desk you can't see above Snarf's head. Orca is there, cleaning his paws. How you doing, Snarf? You alright? Snarf finished, though. That's a Snarf win. That's a Snarf win. Oh, no, that's the tissue with your drool on, Orca, not a tie. Emmy has a thing where you can order food for a Dune stream. Not bad. Not bad. Jess wants a maple donut from Tim Hortons now. Fair. I don't think I've ever had Tim Hortons. That might not be this south. That's a Snarf win. Kira's never had Tim Hortons or Krispy Kreme. Well played, Snarf. There's whales about. No, not whales, Larry. We're doing puns, Larry. The donuts are better than the coffee. That's Tim Hortons. Decidedly average when Art had it. Okay. Wow. Tim Hortons officially mid. Right, well, they've had treats. I haven't ate much. I had like a little snack in between streams, but I'm saving myself something big after this. Anyway, thank you, Kira, for treating the lads. I love it. Right, so do we find Marth at Therma? I'm still proud of taking that scene and putting normal innocent men to it. An airport location. Oh, everything tastes shit in airports. Yes. Always glad to keep the lads happy. Look at that, lads. Someone loves you. I don't. I do. They gendered Kathy correctly, Candace, so they get a pass forever. Hey. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. You get your genders all correct. Right. The wharf, the Octarine Parrot. That's where we can go if we want to save Therma. Let's consider our main case. Let's go back to the Cafe Ankh, where there is apparently someone here. Oh, I think we're getting another song.
I thought I told you never to Ilsa. I thought I would never see her again. I prayed that I'd never see her again. But either the gods didn't listen, or they were having a laugh at my expense. Knowing the gods of the Discworld, I had a pretty good idea which. Play it again, Sam.
He said the thing.
You know what? No one's ever going to believe you said that. Hello, Ilsa. How long's it been?
Too long.
That's funny. I was thinking that it wasn't long enough.
Aren't you pleased to see me?
Sure. Like a jellyfish praying for the tide to come in.
What's that supposed to mean?
If I always knew what I meant, I'd be a genius.
Back then, you always knew what to say.
I still know what to say. I just choose not to.
You're getting a big kick out of making me feel cheap, aren't you? Well, maybe I had it coming.
Hey, don't take my side. You'll take all the fun out of it.
I know, it is... Like... The faces are weird. They're covering it up with hair models. But the faces are weird. And they just... Yeah. Don't worry. Not just you, Kathy, honestly.
I spent years rehearsing what I'd say if I saw you again. What I'd ask you. I tried to imagine what you'd say.
But now I'm here. You can't think of anything to say?
Now you're here, and I just want to slap you. Just once. Across the cheek.
What will that prove?
That I still haven't forgiven you.
You're not making this easy, Luton.
Did you think I would? Did you think I'd just come bouncing up to you like a trained puppy? Maybe I'd wag my tail and wait for you to throw me a stick. Well, I'm never going to be another woman's dog for as long as I live.
That's cruel.
Not as cruel as the day you left me.
We can talk about the song or old times, but in the meantime, I've never seen Casablanca either. I just know all the references that everyone's ever made.
What made you ask for that song?
I was feeling sentimental.
It's good to know that you still remember me.
How could I forget?
I don't know. But you managed to leave. I figured you'd probably manage to forget as well.
Never.
I tried to forget you. I tried to forget the day you left. I tried to forget the good times. I tried to drown your memory in cheap whiskey.
And did you forget?
I don't remember.
I still remember you. That's what the song means to me. It's everything that's good about our time together.
You got lucky, Elsa. You got all the good memories, and I got all the bad.
It didn't have to be like that.
It's always like that.
I was feeling sentimental. Rick would recommend Casablanca. The plot itself is predictable and trite by now, but there's amazing byplay and snark in it. Don't think I've seen Casablanca. My main reference point for Casablanca is Red Dwarf, so...
I suppose you have some explanation for what you did. Some pat excuse that'll make everything all right.
There's no excuse for what I did.
At least we agree on one thing.
Why do you hate me so much?
Because I had everything when I had you. And when you left, you took everything with you. It's easy to hate someone who took it all away from you.
It hurts to hear you talk like this.
Good.
Wow. What was the lead to her? Malachite and Therma? No, it was... Right, no, this is left is back.
Have you met a man named Mundy?
Yes, there was a man named Mundy on the ship we came in on.
She came in on the ship.
He kept himself to himself, mostly.
What can you tell me about him?
He seemed nervous.
Anything else?
I remember him going down to the cargo hold at one point. He looked really shifty, as if he was hiding something.
Is that it?
That's all I can think of.
So, you came in on the Milka, did you?
Yes.
Alone?
No, I came with a companion.
It figures.
What?
Women like you are never alone.
I've been alone.
You know nothing about loneliness. You know nothing about what it's like to not know why you've been abandoned. You don't know what it's like to watch your career slip away because the one thing you care about has been taken from you. You don't know what it's like to spend years going into restaurants and asking for a table for one.
You don't eat in restaurants.
Okay, but if I did, that's what I'd ask for.
Why did you ask about the Milka?
You came aboard in Ecclepon, right? With a man.
Yes, his name's Two Conkers. How did you know?
It's my job to know.
You're being paid to find out where people board ships?
No, I'm a private investigator.
I think Luton needs some therapy. Yep. Yep, he does. We're allowed to bully him now. He's a protagonist in a noir game. He can't be normal, can he? Right. Talk about the Milka.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I've not met them. Sorry.
What do you know about a voodoo?
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
I'm sorry, Luton. I don't know anything about that.
Do you know a troll by the name of Malachite?
I've not met them. Sorry.
Do you know anyone named Therma?
I've not met them. Sorry.
Ilsa had told me she was traveling with a man named Two Conkers. For now, that was all I needed to know.
Fine, yes. Okay. What else can we ask her about?
Tell me one thing, Ilsa. Are you involved in these murders?
What?
Did
The
you do it?
murders. They started when you arrived in town.
I can't believe that you would think such a thing. That's terrible. I mean, I know I've done some bad things, but I've never killed anyone in all my life.
Just checking.
I didn't want to go back, want to go forward.
Do you know a troll by the name of
Oh, we asked
Malachite?
this.
I've not met them. Sorry.
No point asking about Firma either, because we already asked them. Right.
Don't go far. I might want to shout at you again.
I'm sorry, Luton.
Not sorry enough.
Kira's getting excited about something. Ooh, ooh. Frantic pointing. Frantic pointing. Do I still need to do anything? Are you frantic pointing at something that happened in the past that I did? Or frantic pointing at something that I should have done?
You came back.
I'm not staying. Can you read this?
Yes, it says Pier 5.
What language?
Agatean.
How do you know an obscure language like that?
Actually, Two Conkers is from the counterweight continent. I learned it from him.
I thought that people weren't allowed to leave the Agatean Empire.
Oh, things have freed up these days.
I'd be careful who you tell about Two Conkers, Ilsa.
Why?
People can be funny about foreigners, and there's always been rumors about the Empire. They say they use powerful magic there. The last time one of them arrived here, the city got burned down.
Two Conkers isn't going to burn the city down.
You know that, and I know that. But the average man on the street doesn't know that. They see the unknown as a threat.
Why? Two Conkers is harmless. No one's that stupid.
Let me let you in on a little-known secret. You know how stupid the average person is?
I think so, yes.
Well, statistically, half of them are even dumber than that.
That's something very true. But we
I
got new
found
locations.
this on the Milka. Does it mean anything to you?
A piece of cardboard with a number on it?
I think it might have something to do with Monday.
If you've constructed murder and a giant conspiracy out of that, I'm going to be very impressed.
Not yet, but I'm working on it.
I mean, it does, of course, depend on whether he used the mean or the median to calculate that. Because you could have a mean that's been dragged quite high or low by like 1 or 2 outliers. But if you take the median, that would be the midway point. So both the ones he was mean about the median.
Tempting as it was, I decided not to start attacking people with the crowbar.
I wanted to talk to her about the crowbar. Two Brains George is an outlier, yeah. So Kira was making noises and pointing at things. What were you pointing at, Kira? Or do you think we've got everything covered now? I think we've got everything covered. Do you want to see my big sturdy tool? I have. It was neither. Pointing at inventory.
I spent years rehearsing what I'd add. I tried to imagine.
But now
Now you're just one.
what will that?
That
Yeah,
You're
we've
not
had
ma-
this.
did you think? Did you?
Yeah.
Maybe. Well,
That-
not as. Don't go far. I might want to shout at you again.
I'm sorry, Luton.
Not sorry enough.
Alright. So I did go back and do the thing that Kira frantically pointing at. Excellent.
Hello again.
Hello yourself.
Oh, I walked the wrong way.
I'll see you around, Captain.
It's been too long. It's been too long. I was thinking it wasn't long enough. Look, it was cold, okay? I'm not sure which direction the voices were going. Okay, never mind. Let's go back to the map. Oh, hey, you know what we should do? We've got the Octarine Parrot. We've got Pier 5. Let's stop in the Octarine Parrot.
I'd heard of the Octarine Parrot. It made other dives sound appealing. What a place. I could feel the rats in the walls. Hell, I could see the rats in the walls. In fact, some of them had come out of the walls and were sitting at the tables.
Oh, did I? Oh. I'm like, why isn't the keyboard working? It's because I switched it off. We got Mankin. We got the stage. Oh, we got a notice board.
I couldn't imagine who would pay attention to the notices in a seedy dive like the Parrot, but I guess they were of interest to someone. Come and see the greatest historical tragedy ever told, Antilogy and Cleffatara, Quell's masterpiece as 'twas meant to be performed by actors. Eat at Harga's House of Ribs, all you can
Hey.
gobble for $1, menu available. Famous wherever huge appetites gather and mountainous stomachs rumble.
Oh, I could do with that House of Ribs now. This, you know what? For a 1999 3D game, not bad.
The amazing panacea that cures all known ills. Cut me own throat dibblers, genuine authentic soggy Mountain Dew. Guaranteed to cure all problems or your money back. Ah, there's some small print. Guarantee will not be honored.
I mean, the faces, it loses it in the faces a bit. But yeah, the fixed camera stuff. Much better here than PlayStation 1. Thank you, I think. Oh, Sapphire's on stage, huh? There's the bar. What else have we got? Okay.
The stage, where performers go up in front of a drunken crowd and sell their dignity to earn enough money to barely live on. It made me think that all the discs a stage and all the people players. Unfortunately, I felt like I'd been cast as an extra in my own life story.
Not bad, but Pavement did it better. Gotta go and find the lyrics to do it properly. get the full lyrics to do this properly. Pavement, that is Stephen Malcolmus, in 1997 gave us the lyric, "You've been chosen as an extra in the movie adaptation of the sequel to your life." A shady lane, everybody wants one. A shady lane, everybody needs one. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Is everybody's God? Is everybody? Anyway, yeah. Tune. Like a bit of Pavement. But I'm not going to Blue Dot to see them, so there. Anyway, shall we?
The troll singer was something else. I didn't know what, but she was something. Can we talk?
Certainly look that way. Move mouth, waggle tongue. Yeah, it all working.
My name's Luton.
Sapphire.
I could already tell that Sapphire was a troll who could look after herself. I knew I'd have to watch my step around her. It was quite a long way round her, too, and not the pretty way. You been a singer here long?
Long enough.
Long enough for what?
Long enough to want to be singing somewhere else.
Tell me about yourself.
I'd tell you about myself in 4 words. Big ideas, small results.
Why did you become a singer?
Aren't many jobs for a troll like me. And at least this one honest.
Is honesty important to you?
As much as anything else.
I'm guessing nothing much matters to you right now, Sapphire.
You catch on quick, Luton.
What do you know about the barman?
Mankin? Not much. Know that him a bigger loser than me.
How come?
He owns this place. At least Sapphire leave if Sapphire wants to.
Why don't you leave?
Where would I go? No place on disc for a troll like me. Spend our whole lives waiting for break. Just one chance to come our way that can seize in both hands tightly. But it never come. Or if it do, we don't recognize it. So we go back to grind of job we hate. And just keep on ticking each day, one step closer to end.
Do you do children's parties?
Wow. Interesting southern-esque accent that they've gone for here. Art, what are you thinking on the accent front? It's weird trying to do the troll English and like skipping out words and stuff. But then also, do you know a man called Mundy? Let's ask about the other case.
I gave Sapphire Mundy's description in the hope that she'd seen him around.
Don't ring no bells, honey, but that don't mean much. We get lots of humans through here, and they all look the same to me.
Do you know anything about the Milka?
Ask too many questions and a girl loses interest.
Oh, fine. Is that like a thing that maybe I should skip to the important malachite and therma stuff?
Have you heard of a troll singer named Therma? She used to work here.
Huh, a troll singer named Therma.
What's so funny?
Nothing. Sure, Sapphire know her.
Know where I could find her?
Try morgue. She dead.
Oof.
Her house on Tallow Street collapsed while back now. We trolls may be tough, but we're not indestructible. Rumors say she was practicing her moves and knocked out load-bearing beam. Brought whole place down on top of her. That's why Sapphire never practiced.
That's the only reason.
That, and I don't wanna.
Know where she's buried?
Sapphire don't know, but think they buried her under stage name Madame Lodestone.
Madame Lodestone?
Sure, on account of how attractive she was.
Madame Lodestone.
I don't suppose you'd know a big troll called Malachite.
Sure, he troll a few words, 'cause you don't know that many.
Do you know where I could find him?
Sapphire not seen him in years, but you try Rodin's workshop. He used to hang out there.
Got all my saxophones. That was the trumpet. You got any other notes that we can throw past her? Oh, do you know anything about the mysterious murders?
Word is there's been a lot of strange murders recently.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Why not?
There are a lot of strange people in this city.
Saxon Trum.
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
Ask too many questions and a girl loses interest.
Do you know a woman named Ilsa or a man named Two Conkers?
Sapphire know a lot of people, but don't know everyone, mister.
Alright, so probably, I think we're done, right? We've probably got everything we need from Sapphire.
I'll be back.
We'll be back, oh yes. Shall we talk to Mankin? A cheap knockoff version of Mick Foley's character from the late 90s professional
The
wrestling.
bartender was a half-elf called Mankin, and I knew he wouldn't appreciate someone coming into his place and asking questions. Fortunately, I didn't care what he appreciated.
Yeah, excellent, because I'm about to start asking
Can
questions.
I help you?
You could sell me a drink.
What's your poison?
I'd prefer whiskey, straight with a whiskey chaser.
You didn't come here to drink, did you?
Well, I didn't come here for the sparkling conversation. Most of the customers go squeak, squeak.
What is going on with the eyes? Like, other characters have had eyeballs, right? Why is this one completely without pupils and stuff? Why is it just like pure white, honestly?
This seems like a nice place.
No, it doesn't. It seems like what it is. A wretched hive of scum and villainy.
It's tough to get to the top in that field. You could have that on a sign outside. Come to the Octarine Parrot, the most wretched hive of scum and villainy this side of the Ankh.
Are you being funny?
Apparently not.
You look a little nervous.
I can't shake the feeling that sooner or later someone is going to get their arm cut off.
Sure.
Have you always owned the Parrot?
No. It used to be a troll bar. I took over the place after the riots.
Did you keep any of the staff?
Sure, I kept anyone who wanted to stay, and wasn't too badly injured by the riots. But there's something about a group of rioting trolls that makes people reluctant to walk back into a place.
Or indeed unable? Did you keep any singers on the staff?
Only Sapphire.
No, is it, Brian? It could be. I mean, it's a good Welsh accent, but it... Don't think it's Bob Llewellyn, but it could be Nigel Planer doing a decent Welsh accent.
It's not often I see a half-elf bartender.
Be honest, it's not often you see a half-elf.
Okay, you got me. What's the deal?
I don't like to talk about it.
I thought elves were supposed to be irrepressibly likable, so that they can get away with whatever acts of cruelty they want. Like cats.
Well, I'm not an elf, all right?
That's the problem, isn't it? Everyone can see that you've got elf blood in you, but you've got none of the advantages. All you get is people's prejudice.
I don't like your manner.
I'm not selling it.
See, the thing is, like, Bryden's always got a higher, like, frequency going on in his voice. Often. Like, that's a very gruff, your dad kind of Welsh voice. And Bryden's always, like, a little bit kind of up high. So, I'm not sure.
Tell me about Sapphire.
Why don't you just talk to her yourself? Just don't bother her while she's working, all right?
I mean, that's not to say that Rob Brydon can't sort of like keep it in a lower thing. Anyway, let's ask him all sorts of questions about all sorts of things. Do you know a man named Mundy?
I gave Mencken Mundy's description and asked if he'd seen him. He told me that he hadn't. Maybe I could trust him. A half-elf doesn't need to make any more enemies. Do you know anything about the Milker?
If you asked fewer questions, maybe you'd get more answers.
You wouldn't talk to yourself.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean I want to talk about them with you.
Right, I don't think we're going to get any questions. Let's ask about Malachite and Therma, shall we?
Do you know someone named Therma? She used to sing here.
That'd be before my time. Sapphire might know. She knew all the troll singers from back before I took over the parrot.
Do you know of a troll who goes by the name of Malachite? Tall, terse, and dense, in both senses of the word.
Might have been one of the customers from when this used to be a troll bar, but I wouldn't know him if he was.
What about a stage name?
Heard of a troll singer named Madame Lodestone?
Sooner or later, you're gonna get tired of me telling you to talk to Sapphire.
A hint, hint. Fine, what do you know about the murders?
Do you know anything about the recent murders?
Only what you're about to tell me.
You're not very helpful, are you?
Just because I don't want to help you doesn't mean I'm not helpful generically. Say, I do like your hard-boiled dialogue. How long do you boil it?
About 12 minutes from when the water begins to bubble.
There we go. That's how you get hard-boiled dialogue.
Do you know a woman named Ilsa or a man named Two Conkers?
I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean I want to talk about them with you.
No, Malachite Therma. What about dwarf?
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
Nope.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
I know a lot of people. That doesn't mean I want to talk about them.
Right, what can you tell me about voodoo? Nothing. I think... Well...
Does this mean anything to you?
A tiny piece of cardboard? It means you got far too much time on your hands.
Yep.
Can you read this?
Nope.
I think we've probably exhausted all of the stuff with him.
Until later, Mencken. The bar looked almost as appealing as every other bar in town to me. But the drinks didn't exactly fill you with confidence. Come and see the greatest historical tragedy.
Right, we've seen that one. All right, let's put a save in. Let's put a save in. Yep. Let's have a look at Pier 5.
The watchman had a look of mad dedication about him. It was the kind of look that could only be achieved by someone whose job was so mind-numbingly tedious that their only pleasure came from being blisteringly unhelpful to everyone who came along.
Definitely gone a bit Silent Hill now, hasn't it?
The watchman had a look. It was...
Oops.
I take it you're the watchman for this warehouse?
Wow, you're sharp.
Now we're definitely on
never
Nigel
work
Planer.
that out. I mean, there are so many reasons that I might want to be out here on a pier in the middle of nowhere, but you went straight to the fact that I'm a watchman. Well done.
That's a real talent you've got there. It usually takes me much longer to take a dislike for someone. Let me guess. Not only are you the watchman for this warehouse, but you are so bored that anyone who comes along is a target for abuse.
You're good. I'll give you that.
Oh, we are
Sharp as a pancake. What brings you here?
Research. I'm on an investigation.
You with the watch?
No, I work alone.
So you're a criminal.
This is Ankh-Morpork. We're all guilty of something.
I'm not. Pure as the driven snow.
Oh, yeah? Well, you've just directly violated the patrician's laws about groundless metaphor.
What?
Well, can you prove to me that you're as pure as snow?
Ah, but that wasn't a metaphor. That was a simile.
Because, of course, the patrician is going to be swayed by a pedantic defense like that.
I guess you have a point.
Right, there we go. Sharp as a pancake. Let's ask him.
When I gave Mundy's description to the watchman, he became animated. Well, not that animated, but more animated than he had been.
Oh.
That's the one. He tried to break into the warehouse the other night.
You're sure?
Or maybe I just like stringing you along for fun.
What happened?
I scared him off. I'd like to know where he is now, though. It doesn't look good to have people get away with breaking into a place like this. Bad for our reputation.
Oh, I'm sure. Because everyone respects you, and this would just put a total stop to all those dinner party invitations.
Oi, watch it.
Heard of the Milka?
Sure, put it in my coffee,
It's a ship.
Took us a while to get around to that,
I
Jake.
know, just winding you up.
Well, I'm already about as tightly wound as I'm going to get. Unless you were planning to use me as an alarm clock, I'd start thinking about being cooperative.
Where's the fun in that?
The Milka?
Oh, yeah. All I can tell you is that they unloaded their cargo here.
What was their cargo?
Oh, I couldn't tell you that. That'd be violating Watchman cargo confidentiality.
There's no such thing.
Oh, all right. I just don't want to tell you then. Satisfied?
Ecstatic.
There's more. Surely there's more.
What do you know about a woman named Carlotta?
Sorry, I don't get to socialize much with this job. It's the night work, you know.
Has there been a dwarf around asking questions?
That's nothing to do with me.
Do you know a troll by the name of Malachite?
Sorry, I don't get... It's...
Yeah, alright, fine. That's the same answer.
Do you know a woman named Ilsa or a man named Two Conkers?
Sorry, it's...
Right, now that's the same. Doesn't know people. Murders, anything.
Do you know anything about the recent murders in
Go on.
Ankh-Morpork?
That's nothing.
Nothing to do with him. Fine.
Have you heard of a singer named Madame Lodestone?
Sorry, it...
Not got much else for us, has he? Doesn't know people. Pretty sure he doesn't know Malcolm.
Do you know what...
Sorry, it...
Right.
Have you seen any labels like this before?
Oh, sure.
Where?
On crates.
I have this inescapable feeling that I could try and get some useful information out of you about this, but that it wouldn't be worth the time and effort I'd have to spend on the way.
I'd go with that feeling if I were you.
Wow. I slowed this right down, haven't they? This is.
Does this mean anything to you?
That's nothing to do with me.
Right, fine. I think we might have exhausted everything with the Watchman.
I have a feeling I'll see you later.
I can't wait.
Right. Doors, crates. Go around the back. Save the game.
The doors led into the warehouse itself, but the watchman wasn't about to let me in.
weird way to walk to
I
those
couldn't
crates.
tell what the crates contained, and frankly, I didn't much care.
Okay, fine. Let's go around the back. Should have. I think double clicks are faster. Right, what's happening here? Where's my mouse? There. The only thing here is the River Ankh. Lost mouse. Little
The River
mouse.
Ankh. Probably the only river in the universe on which you could chalk the outline of a corpse.
Is there one?
I'd already had to dive onto the Ankh once. I wasn't about to do it again.
Okay, fine. Any of these crates? Nope, 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 nope. Oh, that just takes us back here, huh? What happens if we try and double click the doors?
If it wasn't for the watchman, as it was.
Okay, so. Oh, yes. Rodan's workshop. I knew there was a new location. But looking at the time. Oh, hello.
On an
we found this
ordinary
drawer.
night, I'd sit around waiting for business. But this night, business was coming to me, and bringing trouble with it. Business, I didn't mind. But trouble was an unwelcome guest. And like all unwelcome guests, it was hard to ask it to leave. And by the third day, it was generally wearing your shirts and leaving its stuff in your bathroom.
Hello, Mr. Luton. I've been expecting you.
I should hope so. This is my office. How'd you get in?
Through the door. It was only locked. I know all about doors.
Good. Use this one to get out.
I have a message for you, Mr. Luton.
I don't take messages from strangers.
Then let me introduce myself. My name is Mr. Al-Khali.
I don't take messages from dwarves named after cities.
My name isn't important.
You seem to think it was.
I want to warn you to stay clear of the Mundy case.
I'll bear that in mind. Now get out.
If you don't stay clear of the Mundy case, something untoward may happen to you.
This is Ankh-Morpork. Something untoward may happen to me whether I investigate this case or not. Now either
fair.
you get out or I'll throw you out.
Don't say I didn't warn you, Mr. Luton.
Don't say I didn't ignore you, Mr. Al-Khali. A dwarf named after the Klatchian city of Al-Khali. And a threat. This case was getting more interesting by the minute. All we needed was a troll and a member of the undead, and we could open an ethnic comedy on Broadway.
Notes. At least we know who the dwarf is now. Okay. But what I was going to say was that we'll save this one up. I was going to wrap this one up for the day. Dwarf toss. Bet you wouldn't be saying it if it was a busty woman. No, absolutely not. Wouldn't last 3 days with a busty woman. I was so tempted to add on to the dwarf tossing. Yeah. In memory of, not in memory of like it's gone, but you know, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Anyway, it's not the point. The point is that I'm hitting this button. Haven't got a save in. And we go back to the joys of Windows XP. Alright, let's go back to the joys of my face. And have a look. Right, get the right mouse. In fact, let's make it easier. If I switch that mouse. Right, hang on. Start, turn off computer. Turn off. Actually, there it goes. Bit of nostalgia for you. Chimes of shutting down Windows XP. DJ XP. Let's see who's about for a raid. Ollie started before I did. And they're doing The Sims 4. So knowing Ollie, they still haven't started The Sims. Who else is on? Transverse are doing tabletop RPGs. I always feel a bit weird raiding to people who are actively doing TTRPGs. Because, like, you know, they're probably in a flow and they don't need us coming in and going, woo, raid, woo! It'd be like, you know, doing TTRPG in like the corner of a pub, and then suddenly like a drunken stag party come along and plonk themselves on the table next to you. Hey, woo, hey! I mean, we're not like that. We're not a drunken stag party, but you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean. You see someone doing embroidery, maybe we could do some embroidery. Script Pie is doing Pokemons. Let's get this. It's more like doing TTRPG on stage with an audience. Yeah, exactly. And you wouldn't want a drunken stag party bursting into the theatre going, yeah, woo! Let's go see Ollie. Let's go see. It's always a good laugh with Ollie. In fact, I reckon if they even are playing The Sims, it hasn't been for much more than 10 minutes. I'm saying, just casting horrible rumours about Ollie's focus on playing video games. Anyway, there's a raid message. Brilliant. We shall come back next Friday for Discworld Noir. It's working. I've got a gate. I've finally got it working. Hurrah. I'm going to order some food and veg out, and we'll come back on Friday, which is Good Friday, isn't it? It's Easter weekend next week. I'm going up to see my parents on Easter Saturday. I'm sure the traffic will be fine. It'll be fine. Copy, please. Yes. You need to catch up on Film Noir before then. Yes. Your homework for this week, everyone, is to watch as many Film Noir films as you can. There was a Lovecraft joke in there, and more. Wow. There we go. So, gonna have to gen up in the next few days, and we'll come back for this on Friday, and then we'll do more stuff, I'm sure. Just your Twitters and the Mastodons and the Discord. You know, you'll know where to find me. You lot have been lovely, and we're gonna go and see Ollie, who is also lovely. So, goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.